I do need to address something here with this paperback physical copy that I bought here, man. And I'm gonna ask you this question.
All right, man.
After you read the words "to be continued" in issue number 1, did you continue reading past that?
You talk about for the backup stories, the two backup
Mm-hmm.
stories. I
Mm-hmm.
did read the second backup story. I read all three, yo. I went in. I read all three of them, man. And every one got worse after the next, man. One after the other. But
They
did
know
you
what they
see?
doing,
They
man.
know what they're doing. But did you see Black Lightning in that second story?
That was Black Lightning.
Yeah, Black Lightning in the
Oh
second story,
man.
yo.
All right, look, man.
Look,
All right, I'm
all
gonna
right.
keep thumbing through here. No, no, hold on, cause I ain't gonna lie, bro. I didn't read none of that shit, man. But I'm gonna keep thumbing through here, cause
I
I see an issue. I see the outsiders. I
yeah,
see
the Outsiders. That's the one.
I see this here, and I mean, I'm not gonna say that I'm groaning at it because they got to do what they got to do,
Right,
right?
right.
Come on, man.
I mean,
Like,
Katana looks cool, and then you got a nice little Daredevil hallway scene in there. You know what I'm saying? They threw that in there, and then you got the Black Lightning reveal in the end, where he's actually legitimately Black Lightning. So
like, cause I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like this artwork, like man. So this is Black Lightning, the electric, like you know what I'm saying. This is him basically. He
that's
looks like
him.
that. Oh my goodness, that lightning, that that lightning. Why is it
Yes.
black?
Why is it black? I wonder. I wonder.
Wait,
And I'm Katana, and I know Black Lightning. This ain't the
wait,
first
wait,
time. Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? This is as if, never mind, I'm gonna chill out, bro. But like the artwork for him, like this looks like, I can't even describe this. I'm looking at a outline of a body with ears and no face. You know what I'm saying? But that's Black Lightning? Okay, noted.
And I mean,
Uh,
in hindsight, I cut out one backstory and I give the main issue 20 more pages because those are 20 pages each.
I
Like,
mean, yeah. Now, I'm not gonna knock it because it says here continued in Batman the future state, the next Batman number 3. So whatever it is that they doing here, it's clear that this is like DLC for this main story that they're telling in Gotham. And
yeah,
obviously it's gonna come into play later on. That is one thing about comic books that I'm always gonna have an appreciation for, in that they can, if the story is interesting enough, they can set it up to where even if it's a different style of artwork or different
yeah,
characters, they can always set it up to where there's something there that you need to go back to. So maybe when issue number 3 does come back around, I'll flip through these back pages and, kind of get back to it. But for now, I'm not reading any of this shit, bro. I'm just going to be honest with you. Like,
yeah, man. I don't blame you, man.
I'm, I'm not reading any of this shit. And
Yeah, dude.
if they do want to set it up to where there's something to come back to later on, I'm not gonna knock it. I'll definitely come back to it. Like, but I don't need to see Arkham Knight.
I like the peacekeepers, the magistrates use
Oh,
Red Hood's helmet as
oh yeah,
a fire squad team leader
oh yeah,
uniform. That looked
yeah.
dope. I gotta admit
Right.
that design looks sick.
Oh yeah, that's solid artwork there.
Yeah,
But
the
you know,
story's ass, complete
just,
ass.
just
That shit
with
came out of DC Comics 1996.
yeah,
Oh man.
and not to like get sidetracked or nothing like that, but I really couldn't tell you the difference between the Arkham Knights, the Outsiders, or the Doom Patrol at this point in time. Like all that shit runs together. Every
Pretty
one of
much.
those superhero teams all run together because the Suicide Squad is already the B team. So the C team is interchangeable by proxy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep.
Like the
Oh
C team
man.
doesn't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, this
Like
is the Outsiders? Okay, I thought this was the Suicide Squad.
Katana is so interchangeable. She's Suicide Squad one month, and then she's the Outsiders the next month, and back and
Right.
forth.
And not for nothing, like, you know what I'm saying? If somebody were to ask me, like, bro, like, I know for a fact, when it comes to this comic book shit, you do the knowledge, right? But if we're
Uh-huh.
being all the way real here, dog, could you honestly explain to a casual comic book fan, meaning someone who's only seen cartoons and movies, could you really explain the difference between X Force and X Factor?
No, could not tell. Could not put it in technical terms. Just this is the C, the D, the C and D list mutants, the ones who couldn't pass the class, the ones who Cyclops said you're not riding with me in the jet. The one Xavier says you're special, you're made for a different mission.
Word,
Oh man.
nah, bro. Like, I was just thinking about this because I'm really struggling with this because X Factor, if I'm not mistaken, X Factor was Forge. Forge was in charge of X Factor, and
Yeah.
X Force was set in like Rob Liefeld. See, I don't want to misquote it, man, but I feel like Rob Liefeld had something to do with X Force. X Force was Havoc. Havoc was fucking with X Force, and that was like set in the future from Earth 616. But that's not important. It's not important.
Oh, man. But there's good quality B and C list team, D list teams out there, and those are just a few of them. Just a
Cause,
few,
cause,
just a smidgen of them.
Cause I swear Deadpool popped up in an issue of X Force, man. And we ain't even gonna mention the New Mutants because, obvious reasons. But yeah, bro, like these C list and D list teams, like we're not shitting on them by calling them that. But I mean that's what it is, bro. Same with
Right,
the Defenders.
right. Yeah, that is. The Defenders used to have a good lineup. They used to be like Hulk, Doctor Strange, and then they just turned into the street team people. But I don't give a fuck about what Killer Croc's up to in DC in the future. I could care less about what Two Face is doing in the future. Like, okay, if he's not, if it doesn't involve Bruce Wayne, I don't care what Two Face is doing or Clayface.
Word,
None of these guys. Like, okay,
word.
word, they fighting some underground fight against the magistrate. Cool, have fun with that. I don't need a full 2 issues to explain that shit to me. Do it in a montage, 2 pages,
Right.
2 page
Make
montage with Arkham Knight being some kind of badass, whatever, and then you call it a day. I don't
Oh
need 20 pages.
man.
Save the 18 or 16 of it for fucking Tim Fox, please.
Something just hit me right now, man. It
What's
really
up?
just dawned on me right now. Like, what I was gonna say, I was gonna try to make a parallel between the White Ranger and the
Uh-huh.
Green Ranger. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jason Todd could be both Red Hood and Arkham Knight, the same way that what's his name, Tommy, was the
Tommy,
Green
yeah.
Ranger and the
Mm-hmm.
White Ranger.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Bro, I
So
got spoilers on him. I read some solicitations. He works for the fucking magistrate, man. He, this man ended up working for the feds. So he's in some backup story. I don't know which one it is, but he's in some backup story. Oh,
Yo,
no bullshit.
oh shit! He said he ended up working for the feds, bro.
This man turned to a Blue Falcon, bruh.
To say it ain't well. I mean, hey, what was the alternative, man?
Yeah,
Right?
that is true. So yeah, whatever backup that is, man. If it's not in Harley Quinn, I'll probably read it. But
But man,
oh,
yeah, that was a little quick tangent, but
you're good, man.
I, as far as Future State goes, I mean, I did buy I got Wonder Woman issue number one. I'm gonna send you a picture of the variant cover because it's just a blank cover. I
Oh
like
shit.
that.
Oh, you got the blank
Yeah,
cover? Those are dope, man.
yeah, I got the blank cover, bro, and I like it because it doesn't necessarily like you don't really know what to expect from that. And
Nah,
then
man. You gotta get a dope artist to do something on that thing, man.
and as a sleeper, when I went to the shop, man, over here in Minneapolis, if I wasn't kind of sauced up, I'd shout him out right now. But you know what I'm saying? The sleeper, and I hope that I'm not wrong in this. I bought Swamp Thing number one, Future State.
Oh shit. I was thinking about grabbing that shit too, man. I didn't.
Yeah, I
Oh
went and
man,
copped.
that cover is
I
fucking
went.
dope.
Yeah, I went and copped the Swamp Thing, so I'm gonna try to check that out too. But and I don't
I
know none, and I don't know shit about Swamp Thing, and like even like not for nothing, man. Like before HBO Max, when they had the whole WBDC, whatever app they wanted to call it, like
mhm.
the reviews on the actual Swamp Thing TV series weren't that bad, but they
No.
canceled that shit. They canceled that shit after episode one. But yeah, man, I do want to get a little bit of insight on Swamp Thing. I don't know shit about Swamp Thing, bro. I was creeped out by Swamp Thing when I was a kid, but he was a dope ass character on Injustice too, man.
Oh yeah, no doubt, bro. And just fucking man, I can't even tell you how many L's I caught by Swamp Thing, man. Like this dude was whooping my ass.
The green will humble you, bro. Word, like you know what I'm saying. That's all I
Yeah.
needed to hear. But I'm definitely looking forward to checking out that Swamp Thing issue number one.
Yeah,
I'm
you gotta
gonna
let me.
skip super. Yeah, I'll definitely shoot you some info on that. So let me know about Superman issue number one in Future
Oh,
State, bro.
Superman number one from DC Future State. So this storyline involves John Kent, who is Clark Kent's son in this new DC Rebirth era. And this DC Rebirth era, this Superman is the same Superman from the 90s who died against Doomsday. This is your quintessential, yes, this is the Superman with the black suit with the Jerry curls, mullet, with the pouch, gun pouches and guns and ammo and all that shit. And this is that super.
uh, so
Yes.
this is Superman when he was cosplaying as Frank Castle.
You're right, right. This super no, it's not. It's his son. It's DC Rebirth brought that Superman back, and he had a son with Lois Lane. He kind of had he basically had his shit together, married Lois Lane, kind of lived a secret life until the new 52 Superman died, and he took over the mantle of the Superman. So this is his son, and his son is half human, kind of like Gohan, half human, half Kryptonian, and so he's kind of taken over the role of Superman. And Superman raised him as best as he could to be a hero, but he's weaker. He's not as strong. Supergirl's in it, and for whatever reason, they try to establish Metropolis is in a police state like Gotham because there's technology available that was made by Brainiac or Brainiac's assistants or something. There's some Brainiac technology that it's like Iron Man's Extremis. You like it plugs into you, yada yada yada. You can play music, whatever. Some high tech shit that Metropolis citizens saying they need. The military, the U.S. government wants the technology back from them, and they're protesting, saying no, we want our Brainiac tech or whatever. And then there's all stupid little riots and shit like that. Superman decides the best thing he can do to save Metropolis is to shrink it and put it into the damn ball. I forgot what it's called. You know what I'm talking about? The little
Oh yeah,
balls with the
yeah.
cities. I should know the term of it, but he does that for
We'll just
Metropolis.
call him the fish bowl.
The
The
fishbowl,
fish bowl.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. He decides to put him in the fishbowl, and Supergirl's pissed as hell at him. Supergirl whoops his ass. Supergirl whoops her nephew's ass for like the whole issue, and then we find out that the government is attacking her and him, and I don't know, man. It just was not good. The art was cool, but the story just doesn't add up. The story doesn't add up. Metropolis being a police state felt just out of character for the city. Knowing Metropolis is like damn near fucking a high tech as Seattle. You know what I'm saying? That's just like Seattle and San Francisco on steroids. So that kind of a city and its culture to turn into some police state and protests and riots, it's like
it's a little bit out of context.
yeah, a little bit like I don't see why would they do that. It just seems like a force. It seems like a kind of a copy on from the Batman title. So I'm not going to continue. And they had two backstories with the Guardian and Mr. Miracle. I give the writers ups for making it to DC Comics and for writing comics, but other than that, they're.
And I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. Like looking at the cover, first of all, like let's do some compare and contrast here, right?
I
Remember the DC New 52 cover of Superman where he was like wearing the t-shirt with the cape and the jeans with the Timberland boots on. You remember that?
yeah, the tips. Oh man, that's the worst fucking Superman ever, man. Holy shit, I forgot about his ass. They really man, DC really thought it was a good idea for this man to lose his powers. Come out there with t-shirt, jeans, and a cape and Timbs to fight crime. Someone was smoking crack and fucking DC Comics. Someone was on the bike.
And I think about this, right? Like that shit was hilarious. Oh my god, that was hilarious, right?
Right.
But would you prefer that or seeing the cover of Superman Future State with no cape on, wearing a fucking bodysuit?
I'm gonna have to go with the t-shirt and Timbs, man. Sitting on the side of his bed, whatever, sulking and shit, man.
Like,
I don't know, man. Like the new suit looks.
Yeah, we gonna leave it there.
We're gonna leave it there. We're gonna leave it there.
There's a lot to be desired, but at the minimum, at least that version of Superman on that cover of New 52, you know what I'm saying? If he wasn't like, he could at least snatch that cape off and then pull up to you. He could pull up to you on the corner and get in on the dice game, bro, because he got the Timberlands and the jeans on. Right?
Oh man, he just needed the red do rags. Fuck the cape, put the red do rag on.
He could at least pull up to you on the corner and throw that little hot $5 in on the dice game, you know what I'm saying? And fit right in. But like
he fucking freeze the dice when he blow on this shit, you know what I'm saying?
Like like for real. That's real talk. Like I'm not gonna get into the criticisms of updating the character because, you know, I'm sure there's other like YouTube channels and platforms that can do that, but like at this point, man, there's some serious reconsideration that needs to be done with the S right now, whether it be live action or on page. Like either we let Superman rest for a little bit, or you know, a serious reevaluation needs to be done in terms of what you're gonna do with Superman. Like, you know what I'm saying? Doomsday Clock damn near never happened at this point, and it's 2021 right now.
Yeah.
And whatever strides they made to make Superman feel like he meant something in Doomsday Clock, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Where are we at right now with that? What does that mean? Like, what progress did we actually make?
Yeah, no, dude, you're right. I mean, this shit's kind of getting out of hand, man, with how just he's at a low point, but
do you kind of get Ultimate Marvel vibes from the outset of what we're getting, at least in terms of these issue number ones from DC Future State? Are we kind of, is it too early to draw parallels between Ultimate Marvel and what we're getting here, or are we kind of on the right track here?
Oh no, man! The best believe I'm getting those kind of vibes, especially after the next Batman and the Brazilian Wonder Woman, because Future State was basically going to be a reboot of DC Comics. It was the 5G plan when AT&T bought Warner Brothers, and I mean when AT&T bought Warner Brothers, one of the things they wanted to do with the comics was rest in peace, kind of retire the veterans and bring in a new diverse cast, like all new Marvel did a couple of years ago, and these were going to be the de facto versions of the characters moving on forth. There was going to be
Right.
no like people could whine and cry about it, whatever. Like this was it. Like this is going to be your new Wonder Woman. This is going to be your new Batman. There was no going back to the originals for these titles, but they scrapped it, and instead of scrapping the whole thing, they basically made this like a limited mini run for 2 months. This shit ends basically in February, and then we're back to the status quo,
Mm-hmm.
almost like it never happened. But they say they have plans for certain of these characters to continue their stories in certain other ways, which I will see. I definitely see Tim Fox, and I definitely see Wonder Woman. Those would be the two to continue their stories after this so far from what I've seen. But I am getting Ultimate Marvel vibes a little bit of this reset button. I kind of wish, to be honest with you, they would have stuck with this shit, man.
Well,
But
and
well, it's early to tell, but
right.
very early. But so far, I'm good. Like I don't need. I'm good. I think some of these characters can rest a little bit and have a return later on. I'm for this first week, I'm digging the direction, and next week I'm definitely gonna be picking up Bruce Wayne, Dark Detective, seeing what
Oh
he's up
yeah.
to.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
picking
He's
that shit
gonna
up
be.
Tuesday.
Oh man, listen, man, that motherfucker about to be out there like RoboCop. Oh man,
Bruh.
man. Uncle Brucey ain't finna be playing games with you
Nah.
motherfuckers out here, man.
Nah. He said fuck the cape. He got a damn SWAT team vest on, tactical pants, boots.
Oh shit! You know what I'm
You see
saying?
them, yo? Like
Listen,
he suited down for this shit, bro.
Uncle Bruce finna be like Nino Brown out here on y'all motherfuckers, man. Like, word. So that's gonna be a different kind of vibe right there. You
Oh
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Uncle Bruce finna be like Roman Reigns on you motherfuckers out here.
Let the bodies hit the floor, bro. Like
Yeah,
this
man.
shit ain't no joke. But I'm digging this shit, man. I'm digging this future state. I'm having fun. I haven't bought a new line of comics in a long time where I'm buying like, okay, I want this one, and this one, like as part of like a launch, man. It's been a long time since I've been excited about comics like this. So I mean, big ups for DC for throwing it out there. I wish they would actually, I don't know, had some maybe some of the gusto to keep it around longer. But all I gotta
Right.
say so far is with Tim Fox and Wonder Woman and whoever is a success from this DC Future State, please, for the love of God, don't put them in the main timeline. Don't
Nope.
put them in the past. I don't want to see. Don't put these fuckers in the past, man. Because what makes them special and unique is having them in that future timeline. Is having them in that own setting. I don't want to see Tim Fox teaming up with young Bruce Wayne against Joker and like
Nope.
that's I want to see like I don't need to
Nope.
see that shit. Leave them in their timelines. Don't put them in the past. I think that's what hurt Miles the most on paper after they kind of rebooted the whole main 616 continuity and shit with Secret Wars. They put Miles from the Ultimate into the main 616, and honestly, his
Right.
books, for the most part, from what I hear and what I see, hasn't hit the same because you took what was unique from his situation, the status quo, and you put him with everyone else. Now he's just
Right.
kind of part of the noise. So,
And not only that, like to take it a little step further, I mean, the same thing kind of happened with Wally West and Barry Allen and
mm,
Rebirth. Same kind of
right.
scenarios. So you are definitely on to something there. So before we wrap this up, because I know we kind of went a little bit long on this particular topic, But with DC Comics, man, on one end of it, I respect that they are willing to continue to try to introduce something new. It's 2021 now. But let's just go back here a little bit, right? In the last, let's say 5, 10 years, in the last decade, we've had New 52, we've had DC Rebirth, we've had Dark Knight's Metal, we've had Future State, and then there was another line of comics that you mentioned a little bit earlier as well that might be coming along, right?
Right.
At what point are they doing too much here? You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
for me, back in 2016, 2017, DC Rebirth was really supposed to be the transition between a new status quo into another status quo, right? I
Right.
really I really went through the trouble of trying to piece together, DC Rebirth into the Oz effect, which was kind of underrated in terms of character development for Superman. The Oz
Man, that
effect
story
was
was fire.
Yeah, it was. The Oz effect was really, man, oh my goodness. The Oz effect was really pretty good. And then we went into Doomsday Clock, which for better or worse, happened.
It did.
Doomsday Clock is something that happened. So, but I thought that DC Rebirth was going to establish something for all of us going forward that was going to be something new and different. And then we got DC Knights or DC Metal, introduced the Batman that laughs and whatever there. But at what point does DC Comics actually make their decision on what it is that they want to be their status quo? You know what I'm saying? It's cool that we have Future State now, but why couldn't we get Future State 10 years ago?
Damn. Yeah. Comics is always that ever revolving cycle of changes and status quos and new stories. And DC Rebirth was really strong in my opinion. Those books, for the most
Oh,
part,
oh
you
man,
could read
what?
Green Arrow, you can read a lot of those titles. You could just pick up, and the quality of writing and was there for a lot of those titles, man. Honestly, when does it become too much? I think it becomes too much when, like, let's just say after this DC Future State and we have the new Infinite Frontier, I think that's what it's called. In 2023 or 2024, when you switch it up again, it's like, "Aye, man, like, what exactly are we doing here? Why are you throwing shit at the wall and hoping that it sticks at this point? You should know what works. You have millions of dollars into marketing and research into if you guys and I hear there've been rumors about DC Comics just being shut down, just being shut down. Like no physical copies, trade paperbacks, no monthly issues, and digital copies only for single issues. Like I heard they've been cutting down on that shit. I'll be honest with you, I don't need 50 fucking titles like a month. You give me like a Tim Fox, you give me the next Batman, you give me a couple Batman titles, a Superman title, whatever's good. Give me a limited amount of whatever's good. I don't mind paying 6.99, 7.99. You know what I'm saying, for something that's decent. I don't need a whole bunch of 3.99 books that no one gives a fuck about or no one's gonna read. Like
Mm-hmm.
at one point, do you know that I don't know the Martian Manhunter is not gonna sell compared to Batman. Like, do we need a Martian Man? Now, I'm not saying like like or Hawkman. Even though I heard Hawkman's run was really good, that Hawkman, that book ain't selling shit. So throw it in there as a backup, and if people like the backup, then that could be the trailer, the backdoor pilot for a main issue, a main series run.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm just changing my views, man. I don't mind like the last Ronin is like 8.99, 40 plus pages, art is fire, story is fire. Like I kind of don't mind these $10 purchases as long as the shit's good and it's limited. I don't need when I go to a comic book store, I don't need 30, 40 selections. You give me 10, and they all are good. I'm actually happy with that and content with that. And I think that might be the future of comic books and the selection, man, because the current model, when you have 30, 40 titles every single month, 30, 40 titles, and 60% of them don't sell and at all. And these are just pilot episodes and scripts for television and movie series or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like these are basically
Hmm.
cheap scripts being written for Hollywood or HBO Max or whoever. It comes a point where you just, you can kind of cut that shit off, man. Just go with the flow of things. I mean, I think it gets to a point, especially how Marvel doesn't really hasn't rebooted in a long time. They're kind of just sticking to the guns. They relaunch number ones like a motherfucker, but they don't reboot the whole continuity of the 616 like that. So DC, I think they're almost there where it's too much. And Future State, so far so good. And Future State sucked. And then we got Infinite Frontier, and that shit started to suck as well. You just
Right.
can't fucking hit the reset button again in less than 3 years and thinking like, okay, we got it this time. Like, nah, man. Like, I know New 52 sucked, and I know you guys they put a long time trying to make that shit work, and it wasn't gonna work. But I give them credit for at least sticking to their guns on that and trying to make that work for whatever time period they did. And I think you got to give some of the stuff some time to breathe rather than just keep hitting retry as fast as you can if something is not turning out the way it should be. And
So,
yeah,
and not only that, right? But there was okay, and this went under the radar. While we were waiting on Doomsday Clock for 2 years, Heroes in Crisis was really the best thing smoking over at DC Comics during that time. But
mm,
now in 2021, ain't nobody talking about Heroes in Crisis. Nobody give a fuck about it. Heroes in Crisis was a damn good book, man. Like they made Booster Gold important. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? They
yeah,
made Booster Gold important during Heroes in Crisis, but because they're chasing, because they're trying to look for that next new hot thing that can cross over in the live action, they're foregoing actually trying to tell good stories. So at
right.
this point in time, don't nobody care about that no more. It's not important anymore. But digress, man. We the DC Comics conversation is a little bit too broad and wide sweeping to kind of lock down and pin down into one particular thing. But
Mm,
long story short, DC Future State is definitely something to look forward to, and I hope they don't fuck it up.